I'm on a mission to find out which UK supermarket is the very best for selling Pokémon cards. This week is semi-final 2 as Morrisons take on TESCO. Hello and welcome to yet another semi-final of the Supermarket head-to-head Pokémon edition. Is that what we're calling it? I can't remember what we're calling it. But welcome back. Last week was the first semi-final. We saw Sainsbury's versus Asda. Bit of an upset because I expected more of a performance from Asda, really. This week, semi-final number 2, finding out who that other finalist is going to be, and it's TESCO versus Morrisons. TESCO performed moderately in the first round. The first store we went to had nothing, but the second store had some tins and they were able to beat Waitrose. Morrisons performed diabolically and they scraped through on an online order, which is basically penalties by default. So, really expecting a TESCO win today. Obviously, one of the things I wanted to address is in the last video I mentioned about this rumour that TESCO were going to stop selling Pokemon cards because it was unchristian. I think the rumour comes from the fact that TESCO's toy section is now going to be managed by the Entertainer, who are a Christian business, and the Entertainer do not sell Pokemon cards, which ties into my discovery that a lot of the Pokemon cards in TESCO are in the stationery section, because that's TESCO stocking them outside of the toy section, which is the Entertainer. Confusing, but that's why your Pokemon cards will be in the stationery section of TESCO rather than the toy section. So that'll be the first place we check today. I still don't really understand the whole Pokemon is unchristian thing from the Entertainer's perspective, and it's something that I might investigate at some point in the future, see if I can kind of talk to some staff at the Entertainer and get a bit of an idea, because yeah, I'm not a Christian, but I just don't understand. I don't understand it really. So I'd like to get some understanding, and just from a kind of, you know, inquisitive sort of part of my brain would just like to know why. You know, Pokemon's set in a different world with different religions and gods and things, but they still sell things like Jurassic Park, Jurassic World toys. Jurassic World is set in our world, where there is a prehistoric history, which is a direct, you know, a direct challenge on the existence of gods. So surely that would be more unchristian. I don't know, but yeah, we'll get to that in the future. Today it's all about TESCO versus Morrisons. We were at TESCO number 1 already. I did the drive without filming because it's first thing in the morning. The sun is rising. It's good to do these first thing in the morning because otherwise it just gets absolutely rammed in those supermarkets, and my little ADHD brain cannot cope with the size of the crowds. So TESCO number 1. Now we'll head to the first Morrisons after that. This is a different TESCO. We didn't visit this one in the first video. Just thought, as there's multiple TESCOs around, I'll visit a different TESCO and see if we have any more luck. So, without further ado, I'm going to go in and see if I can find some Pokemon cards. And away we go into TESCO. And there's the Entertainer. Look at those Fuggler things. And into the children's stationery section, which is where we should find the Pokemon cards. And there's some Pokemon things. There's some space where there should have been some Pokemon cards. So, another disappointing start to the video. There were some tins at some point in stock in TESCO, so it's good to know in the stationery section they still are selling Pokemon tins, but not for me today. I will be visiting another TESCO, the TESCO that we got the tins from last time, so hopefully they come in and save the day again, because I don't have much hope for Morrisons. But again, it's been a few weeks since I last went. I could be proved wrong. So we're going to go to Big Morrisons first. This is the Morrisons where I saw the robbery happen. Yeah, it was interesting to see the Entertainer section. with those funny, horrible little monster things. Nothing else to say about it other than that. Let's go to Morrison's and let's see if this could be a surprise. Morrison's could surprise us, and we could end up with like Morrison's with points and Tesco with none. That would be an upset. That would be an upset. I'd like that for the narrative. That would be great. But I just want Pokemon cards. I don't care where they come from.
I refuse to give up. I refuse to give in. You're my everything. I don't wanna give up. I don't wanna give in. So everybody sing one love.
So we have made it to Morrison's number 1. The store has been open for 10 minutes. So I'm hoping it's nice and quiet. I'm hoping that no wrong-uns are in there nicking Pokemon cards. There'll be wrong-uns in there, for sure. I'm a wrong-un, but I'm not going to be nicking Pokemon cards. I'm going to be paying for them if they're there. So, again, I know exactly where the Pokemon cards are normally stocked in this shop. I don't expect them to be there because they haven't been there since I started making this series. But it has been a while since I last came to Morrison's, so maybe I should go in with a more positive mindset. Let's see what happens.
Into Morrison's now, and hoping that I don't bump into the old thief, or as I like to call him, Team Rocket, and loads of toys. The toy section seems to have expanded, and there's some Pokemon things, and some dinosaurs, but no Pokemon cards.
Well, that went kind of exactly as expected, to be honest. So nothing to write home about. They did have some Pokemon plushies, they had some Pokemon Pop Funkos, but I'm not collecting those things, so that doesn't really matter to me. It's Pokemon cards I want. And before you ask, yes, I did check at the tobacco kiosk. I don't film that bit because there's a person behind there, and I don't want to film a person without their permission. Also, I just find it awkward to walk up somewhere with a camera in their face. I'm not that kind of YouTuber. I'm a normal person with a normal job, and this is just something I do on the side. So I'm not quite in the business of sticking cameras in people's faces yet. The kiosk situation annoys me because there's this sort of talk that they sort of secretly stock Pokemon cards there, and I'm thinking, if the match attacks, for example, the Panini stickers for the Pokemon cards, you can see them behind the kiosk, whereas apparently the Pokemon cards are hidden away. And that doesn't sit right with me. If you're going to sell something, show me that you sell it. So if that is the case, then I won't be buying Pokemon cards by that method because it's sort of shady and wrong. I will only buy Pokemon cards that are on display. If it's displayed behind a counter, it's displayed behind a counter, and that's fine, but they have to be on display for me to want to buy them. Because otherwise they're not selling Pokemon cards, they're just saying that they do. And that pisses me off. So, next stop, the Tesco that saved us last time, so let's hope that it can do the same again.
So sad and slow, so tired of listening, don't know the words, so sick of love songs, so sad and slow, so why can't I turn off the radio?
So here we are at Tesco number 2, the very same Tesco that saved the day a couple of weeks ago. Hoping for more of the same, really. It's funny doing it at this time of the morning because the people that work in the supermarkets look at you like you're nuts. Why are you here at this time of the morning? And the people who are also shopping are like, that I'm supposed to have this place to myself. Why are you here? Especially like, why is somebody under 40 here at this time of the morning? It's still better for me than coming into a busy supermarket. I found that really difficult, stressful. It's something that I normally try and avoid. So I don't know why I was doing it for fun, really, for content. So I'm starting to do it sort of first thing in the morning instead, which has its own challenges. Let's just say that. But I still really enjoy doing this. But I'm very, very much looking forward to moving on from supermarkets and moving on to some more kind of tolerable shops. Let's just put it that way.
Let's keep our fingers crossed for another tin in this Tesco. Straight to the stationery section and temporarily out of stock. Can't even see how much they would have been. That's rather disappointing.
So disappointing. So disappointing. And do you know what the hardest thing is that I still go into these shops with hope. I have hope that there's going to be a great big selection of Pokemon cards and I'm going to be able to pick. I'm going to be able to pick what I get. This is basically the, 6th video in a row that just kind of highlights the pain of trying to collect Pokemon cards in the UK. I don't know whose fault this is. I blame the supermarkets because they're an easy target and they are sort of giant asshole corporations anyway. But also the Pokemon company. I love Pokemon. It's my favourite brand. But are they making enough Pokemon cards and distributing enough Pokemon cards to the UK? It's a big market here. People love Pokemon. People love Pokemon cards. We want more. This is just another video, 6th video in a row where I'm disappointed. And I don't have high expectations either. I just want to be able to buy something. That's all. Just something. So, yeah. We've got another Morrisons to try. I don't have high hopes. Morrisons aren't particularly good performer. There are other Tesco's I can try. I've got a couple of Tesco's in the back pocket, I guess, and we do have an extra Morrisons, so we can try a few more places. It's going to end up being a long video, but maybe I'll try one more of each, and then we'll have to go to penalties. So I'll have to do some online shopping, check in with the wife, see what we need grocery-wise, and stick some Pokemon cards on in the end. But split it between 2 shops, which would be interesting. But we'll get to that. Hopefully, one of these other sort of back pocket shops that I've got has got some Pokemon cards, because this is getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous, really, isn't it? Okay, Morrisons number 2. Not feeling overly optimistic. I don't think this one even has a toy section, but it's the only other large Morrisons around, so I'm going to try it. And I'm already planning my route to the next Tesco. So let's just get this over and done with, and then fingers crossed for some Pokemon cards at the next Tesco, please.
Don't know why I bothered, really.
Just as I expected. Absolutely nothing. Not even a toy section like the last Morrisons. So, on to the next Tesco. Okay, so we have made it to the extra Tesco. Not the Tesco Extra, the extra Tesco. This is kind of last chance saloon, really, to get something live for this video. Otherwise, it is going to have to be about deliveries, which is a real shame. So, do you know what? Fingers crossed. I have been here before, back in the lockdown Pokemon hunts. With my housemate Brad. So I think we got something here, but I just don't think it was anything crazy. Can't remember, it was a long time ago. This one's a bit further out, so we didn't come as often. So we're just gonna have to see. That's what this whole series is about, I guess, is exploring and finding out what kind of what happens in supermarkets regularly. So let's have a look.
An extra stab. You should really, capitalise on this, Tesco. Oh, wait.
Once again, super disappointing. It stinks of a scalper to me. All the Tesco's in the area have been scalped. That's what it looks like. That's what I'm assuming. I might be wrong, but yeah, definitely stinks of scalper energy. So, disappointing, yeah. I'm not going to bother with the other Morrisons. It's a waste of my time. We know they won't have any Pokemon cards there. I'm going to go home and rest because it's been a long day already, and I'm going to do some online shopping, but I'll check in with you once I get back and see what the results are going to be.
Okay, so it is the next day. I've calmed down a bit. I'm not as upset at the supermarkets as I was. Sorry, there is a slightly deflated happy birthday balloon here. It was my wife's birthday a few days ago, so that's why that's there. That's what my brother got. I don't think he realised quite how big it was going to be. I have an admission now. I've cheated on the task a little bit.
But what I did yesterday was check both websites for both supermarkets. They both sell Pokemon cards online, and they both sell tins, much like the Iron Leaves tin that I got from Tesco in the previous episode. Now, rather than do full shopping orders with those tins, I just ordered 2 random tins of the same type off of Amazon. Now, you might have guessed already if you've watched all these episodes, I'm an anti-giant corporation kind of guy. And Amazon is one of the giantest of all corporations, so I'm never really happy about having to use Amazon. However, it was next day delivery, and rather than being £22 like they are in the supermarkets or on the supermarkets websites, they were just £19. So we've got a Gouging Fire and Iron Crown. We'll do Iron Crown as Tesco and Gouging Fire as Morrison's. We'll get them open, we'll see who wins. I'm deeply disappointed in Tesco, but I'd probably still rather see them go through because I feel like there's more of a chance that I'm going to get some cards from there in a final. So inside the Iron Crown tin, we've obviously got an Iron Crown promo card, which is very nice. It's not going to count towards any points. And we've got 4 booster packs, 2 Twilight Masquerade, Temporal Forces, and Paradox Rift. So that's 1 tin. And inside the Gouging Fire tin, if I can get in, we obviously have a Gouging Fire promo card, which also isn't going to count towards anything. And we have 2 Twilight Masquerades, Temporal Forces, and Paradox Rift. So same. That's fine. It's an even match. This is the first time really in the series that the pack opening is going to determine who wins. So let's get these packs open and let's see who is going to be facing Sainsbury's in the final.
So Morrison's up first, and Twilight Masquerade. There is a code card, and like always, that's for you. And the energy is for me, and this time it's electric. We have Lairon, Snorunt, Chimchar, Pinsir, a Love Ball, Bellybolt, an accompanying Flute, a Reverse Hollow Tangler, a Reverse Hollow Torkoal, and Okidogi. Next pack, another Twilight Masquerade now, and as always, the code card for you. To use the code cards? I hope so. And an energy for me, it's steel or metal. There's Fione, Girder, Venipede, Aron, a Boomerang energy, Slurpuff, Perrin, a Reverse Hollow Tatsugiri, Reverse Hollow Floette, and Chandelier. Okay. What pack is this? I didn't see. It's Temporal Forces. There's your code card, and my energy is electric again. Ponyta, Chatot, Cottony, Carvana, Morty's Conviction, Shiftry, Bianca's Devotion, Minchino, Reuniclus, and Wimmiscott. And finally, Paradox Rift, Garchomp on the front. Let's get some luck now. Just 1 pull would be nice. Here's your code card. And here's my energy. And that's electric again. Spinder, Tinkertink, Tandemaus, Dwebble, Cyclizar, Toadscruel. There's a Slitherwing, I think I might need that. A Reverse Hollow Ferroseed, Reverse Hollow Blitzel, and Golisopod. Okay, Tesco's turn. Here's Twilight Masquerade pack number 1, and we have a code card for you. Did you get a view? And not electric and energy. It's fire this time. There's Tangrowth, Venipede again, Chansey, Drakcloak, Hassel, Brute Bonnet, might need that, Ambipom, Reverse Hollow Spinarak, a Lairon, and Pheasantipity. Now that is a very nice card. Next pack of Twilight Masquerade. Here is the code card for you. Lovely. And the energy for me, this time it's grass. We've got Poliwhirl, Tangler, Shinx, Clefairy, a bug catching set, Aggron, Clefable, Reverse Holo Kilowattrel, Reverse Holo Sandslash, and Luxray EX. Very nice. Last pack of, no, this isn't the last pack. Temporal Forces. There we go. Code card for you. Energy for me. Electric again. Lots of electric energy today. Chatot, Cottony, Carvana, Ekans, Great Tusk. Let's put that aside. Salvatore, Bronzong, Ribombee, Reverse Holo, and Reuniclus. Nice. And Koraidon. Put that aside for my Paradox Pokemon collection too. Final pack, Paradox Rift. Here we go. There's your code card. And the energy for me. Another electric. What's going on? So many. Onyx, Flittle, Nickit, Knackley, Wugtrio, Technical Machine Blindside, a nice Iron Bundle for me, Reverse Holo Chi-Yu, there's Professor Churro's Scenario, and Palkia, and on a bit of a low there.
And so, just as Morrison's went through on penalties, they also go out on penalties. And I must admit, I'm really, really glad that they're gone, because they seem to be the biggest bad luck charm. In both Morrison's episodes, there were 0 Pokemon cards on offer. So, they're gone. We have our finalists. Tesco versus Sainsbury's. I probably could have called it, in all honesty. I kind of hoped Asda were going to get in there, but I had probably expected, I don't know why I'm doing like Wallace. Ooh, Sainsbury's. Yeah, I probably expected Sainsbury's versus Tesco. At the moment, I'm personally feeling like Sainsbury's are going to do this. They're going to pull this off, but Tesco could, you know, as long as the entertainer don't get their grubby mitts in, Tesco could still pull something off. So, the final next week, Tesco versus Sainsbury's. Make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure you've got the notifications on so you don't miss it. And we will find out who is the best supermarket in 2025 for buying Pokemon cards. Thank you to everybody that's been here since the beginning. I got some cards to show you, some nice cards. You saw them, but I'll show you again. These were from the Tesco box and sort of scraped them through to the final. It's not a 3-0 win just because they got 3 cards. It's 3 penalties scored over 0 penalties scored. So we've got this Luxray EX. That is one of my brother's favourite Pokemon, which is nice. It's a cool Pokemon, Luxray. I just wish it had a secondary type, like a Dark or something. But Luxray EX. We got this full art Reuniclus. I'm not sure whether it's illustration rare or whatever, but it's a nice picture. It's a really nice picture. Not a big fan of Reuniclus as a Pokemon. I'm not, I mean, controversially, not a big Gen 5 fan. Not my gen. Just probably the trough as far as Pokemon goes for me was Gen 5. But that is a lovely piece of art. Whoever the illustrator is did a really, really nice job there. I really like that artwork. And then we have this Lairon full art. Again, a really, really nice artwork with him sort of going through the rubbish. I love the kind of slice of life Pokemon cards where it's kind of like just, I don't know what I do with my hand. Why am I going Wallace and Gromit all the time? It's just, yeah, it's just really cool to see. I really enjoy it. So, yeah, 3 nice cards, and I also got a whole bunch Paradox Pokemon cards as well, which I will be sorting into my binder very soon. So, thank you very much, like I said, for watching up until this point. Next week, we finish March Madness, and it is the grand final of the supermarket head-to-heads. Thank you for sticking with it for those of you that have. And if this is your first video, go back and watch and see how we got here. But it is going to be Tesco versus Sainsbury's in the final. I really hope they both have Pokemon cards in stock when I go and film the video. That would be amazing. We want at least one battle before the series ends. But this isn't the end of Pokemark. I will be back and we will be doing the UK High Street head-to-head. Format of the videos will be slightly different because there'll be less driving around, but we will be putting some high street stores in a similar bracket style tournament head-to-head to find out which is the best UK high street store for Pokemon cards. So make sure you're subscribed and you've got the notifications on for that. Who do you think is going to win the final? Is it going to be Sainsbury's, who have performed really well so far, or is it going to be Tesco, who have pretty much scraped their way into the final? Comment down below, let me know who you think is going to win. I'm super excited. I'm just always excited when there's a possibility of Pokemon cards. I've got some nice cards today. It's better than the other semi-final, even though Sainsbury's did win that. They didn't produce any nice cards, so I'm happy. I'm happy with those. Like I said, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week.